So it looks like we've got Murktide versus Rhinos for the finals. Pretty excited to see it. I'm gonna root for Murktide because I'm biased towards Murktide. I love Murktide. Card's sweet. It's played in Legacy, therefore it's probably better than a Rhino. Right, that adds up, right?
Rhinos actually has a deck that's been getting popular in Legacy.
Well, popular. I mean, everything's popular in Legacy,
Well,
but only like
no.
3 decks are good, right?
No. Legacy is actually the most fair and balanced format.
Yeah, probably. To be honest, yeah.
You can play whatever you want in Legacy,
And do pretty well with
and
it.
well, you can not lose.
I feel like Reanimator's probably because isn't there like that one guy who wins everything, like all the major tournaments, and he's just like a player who hates Legacy but is very good at it,
No.
and they just play Reanimator.
Reanimator has actually fallen off of favor a lot.
Really? Like what, Canada?
In general.
Really?
Like the statistic best deck
oh, it's
in
gonna
Legacy
be Murktide, right?
is Delver.
Yeah, Delver. Is
So-
it Delver? I mean, isn't that like statistically the best deck in Modern as well?
No, right now like for recent results it's Rhinos. There was a weekend where the only deck that won a Modern challenge on Moto was Rhinos.
Wow. So I'm wondering if they decide to just let, like, just unban the Eldrazi's.
Nope. We get it. You love your Eldrazi.
Yeah, it'd be sweet. So what? Turn 2? It looks like the Rhinos player didn't actually cast anything. Just a fetch.
He's setting up for a Fire Ice. He's got one in his hand, so he's probably gonna just ice down something.
Ice down a land?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Oh. Little interjection there. No, so it didn't even fire nice on upkeep or nothing.
Yeah.
Nice. Friggin' the bauble. The only person who's not using a retro bordered bauble. Respectable. Trying to figure if they're shocking or not. Yeah.
They're just trying to make sure we get the life totals right, because we didn't necessarily the first game of top 8 with Randall and Barbosa.
Yeah.
But we kept pretty good track here in the booth, as I like to call it.
Booth.
Yeah.
Well, we are in a booth.
Yeah. The booth, aka the office.
The office.
Wow, double dead your dude.
Double dead?
Yeah, so it deals 2 damage.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you discard.
Wow. But hey, at least he still gets the trigger in a deck that matters. Like, he might have just set him up for a fairly large Murktide now.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That is a mystical dispute in Kyle's hand. Like,
well, oh, fair enough. Oh, well, he's running it out, so.
The one thing I did notice, I don't know if it's main board. I don't know if it's main board, but whether or not Force and Negation is in Andrew's main deck. I saw him.
Was Kyle the guy who
he's
first last one?
No. That was Kent.
Okay,
Kyle
Kent.
lost to Kent in top 4.
Okay, Kyle lost to Kent. Yeah, because it's like, man, dude, this guy with the tattoos looks so familiar. Checks out then.
See you guys gassing up Kyle in the chat there.
Thick thighs and deep cries.
But
Darcy into Holy Heat. Yeah, checking for Delirium. Which
just making sure.
Land in there. Don't want that.
Don't want to get that out of here.
Probably Spell Pierce. And was he the one who was running Spell Snare? I know one of them was
Post board,
board,
right? We have the head judge Shay sitting in here with us. You're allowed to talk if you want to.
I can't remember if he's got it registered in the main or not, but he did get a previous Rhinos opponent last round with it when they tried to Brazen Bar, or they tried to Fire Ice a creature dead, and he was able to stop it.
Nice. So he is one of the players running it.
Yeah, we did see it earlier because
Yeah.
he got Randall on an expressive iteration.
That's what it was. Yeah, the expressive iteration. Feels bad. Another unholy heat. You guys popping off.
And in response to an ice by the look of it, so that's gonna negate. Oh, a tapped mana at least.
Yeah. It's more or less to draw a card. I think if I'm in Kyle's position, I think he just wants to draw the card to still be in the game.
Oh, and let's go.
That's pretty rough.
So dead.
I don't know if Barbosa wins this match, we have to nickname him the Rhinos Killer because he's been taking the name of every Rhinos player in the top 8 today.
Rhinos player, dude. He's on them.
At least 3 Rhino players in top 8, and he has slain
2 of them.
two so far.
If he wins this one, he'll slain 2. Because it was Rhinos mirror match in quarters that Kyle won.
Oh, it was the third one? Oh, I guess it was Breach.
No. There was 3 Rhinos players.
Oh, it was 3 Rhinos.
Oh, in top 8, what you mean Barbosa's
Yeah.
opponents? It was Jeskai Breach, which was Randall, and
Okay,
then
yeah, it was
okay,
Breach.
first time.
Dale,
Breach.
who was on Rhinos, and now Dobinson on Rhinos.
Rhino's kind of a menace here at the modern 2K.
They have been the past couple. They have been kind of been the bane of existence for the past year we've been doing them.
Yeah, and a lot of like what I'm noticing is like a lot of the sideboard tech, although good, never seems to be enough because like it takes the decks that they're fighting off of their own game plan. Burn isn't doing burn things now; it's taking a step off to stop a Rhino.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like. It's not Delver; it's Murktide. I always want to call it Delver.
You can call it
Modern
Delver.
Delver.
Yeah. Modern Delver, yeah.
It's Delver, but your Delvers are
Delver
2/1
Light.
monkeys that are just better than Delvers.
Yeah, it's true.
I think DRC would be the closer to Delver, but yeah.
Well, you
they
play
run
DRC
Darcy, yeah, they
in
play
the Legacy
Darcy
list
and
sometimes.
Delver, so they replace Delver with Ragavan.
Yeah, because you can't actually play a Ragavan in.
All right, so I'll say this to all of our fans: if I ever decide to play Modern, very unlikely, but if I do, I'm gonna play Modern Delver. No Ragavans, no monkeys. I'm not saying that's correct because it's not.
I was about to say, I'm like, that's a bold statement.
But if I win, oh boy, it's all up in the air now.
Like
Ragavan.
slamming Boomer Jund.
Yes,
It's not necessarily in a good spot, but it feels good.
it does feel good. Watching someone play it, dude, Tarmogoyf turned seas into Tarmogoyf? Wow, so Fury pitching Fury, my goodness. Oh,
There's a mystical dispute in Kyle says.
Oh. Bang the 3.
This better be a second one.
No.
Oh,
boy.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
paving the way for some Rhinos.
But it doesn't beat a DRC. Well, it does beat a DRC.
It doesn't, it doesn't. This is my favorite part about watching them flip the Rhino and almost flip again and then stop.
Well, he especially needs to be careful.
Yeah, we'll catch him.
Well, if he flips another card or gets a warning of sorts, game loss.
Oh no.
Only another GRV.
Yeah.
Typically, flipping the extra card and seeing what it is when you shouldn't falls under our looking at extra cards.
Yeah, but
So
some people on
So
a cascade.
What
some
is the
people roll
ruling
it
behind
as a
that? Like,
GRV.
let's say like you accidentally do it. Should you just tell everyone what it is and reveal it to all players?
Well,
That's known information.
You have to randomize that portion of the deck where that card would have been.
Exactly. So you now essentially would know the card that's supposed to be on top of your deck, which you shouldn't. So we'll randomize the portion that you don't know, and then you'll then put the randomized cascade cards to the bottom where they're supposed to.
What if I accidentally draw 3 cards instead of 2? And I see
So
the
That's a
third card
whole
down?
different penalty.
there's a yeah.
Okay.
So it depends on whether or not a spell has told you to draw 2 cards and you drew 3. It depends on whether or not you said draw 3 and your opponent said yes. And it also depends on if a card set or if
So in this case, it would have been I accidentally drew 3 when I should have only drawn 2. Post combat main phase after losing 2 life from a Timna.
Kind of. So the classic example for judges is divination,
Okay.
where things like it
Draw two.
says draw two. So if you say I'm going to draw 2 cards and then you draw 3 cards, technically you've created a hidden card error if you've added those cards to your hand. However, if you tell your opponent that you're going to draw 3 cards and they go, "Yep, resolve divination," and then you draw 3 cards, instead you've actually just broken the rule by not resolving the spell properly, but you did as you were thinking you're supposed to do. So then that's a games rule violation. It has to be fixed differently.
So what I did was I accidentally drew 3 cards, but I didn't put them into my hand. I accidentally drew the 2, started looking, I was like, oh, that's 3. So I took the first 2 that were in my hand, put them into my hand, and then told everyone this was a Chrome box that was revealed to me.
Yeah, so that 3rd card, now that we know what it is and we shouldn't, we'll just shuffle it into the portion of the library that we don't know.
So I could have gotten a shuffle out of that?
Pretty much.
That's unreal. I didn't want that card. That's good to know, though.
Barbosa took game 1.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, there was a counter spell revealed,
like
and Kyle had the 3rd Fury. There was a counter spell revealed, and Kyle's like, "Okay, I ain't got nothing."
It's over.
He has so much interaction for these Rhino decks, and
I
so
love
long as he can hit at very least 4 very well timed counter spells,
Yeah,
this deck, it needs to either interact back and push that interaction battle, or it's going to start falling apart with just 2/2s.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
I'm
actually
curious.
wild. Just like watch how far Darcy really carries that game. Like just like the constant pressure, and then with Delirium, using unholy heats to remove like the problematic, taking a couple hits on the process, and then really saving those counter spells for like Furies and 2-for-1s.
Digging for those interactive spells as well is so important.
Barbosa is arguably like one of the best Murktide players in Southwestern Ontario, if not the best that I know of. He plays this deck almost like perfectly. He's won a couple Moto challenges playing this deck. He's not afraid to take risks with the deck. Like he makes a lot of changes to lists, and so it's not surprising to see him have the tech for the Rhinos, because Rhinos is the new craze, and you either get with the times or get bent.
So long as he can't hear me, I'd be inclined to agree. He does pilot this deck very well.
So long as he can't hear you, eh? Don't want him to let him know you think he's a good player.
No.
Yeah, he can't know that.
Of course not.
No, I'm talking. And I believe, so on Andrew's side, he has explosives
He has engineered explosives,
and
yes.
disputes, right? 2 disputes.
Explosives, disputes,
And spell snare?
Yeah, he has spell snare in his list, but
I think it was 1 main board. I think. But I don't know. I don't remember.
well, I'm gonna answer this question in chat why we haven't seen a Rhino yet. We did see a Rhino actually in game 1. It's those tokens that he puts in play with the guns. Those are Kyle's Rhinos. Those are really sweet tokens.
To be fair, you can never tell that it's a Rhino or a Rhino with a gun, but they are Rhinos with guns. Can confirm is a Rhino with a gun.
Rest in peace, Siege Rhino. It is the true Rhino.
It's like the boomer as Absan Rhino.
More than the
Back in
boomer.
my days when I played Rhinos, it was so mana efficient. 1 for 1. For 1 mana, you got a 4/4. For another mana, you got, what was it? 3. You dealt 3 damage. The other mana, you gained a life.
3 life.
3 life. Sheesh. And what was the last mana
Had
for?
trample.
Oh, trample. Wow, back in my day, that was efficiency at its finest. And
That card was nuts.
now it's 0 mana, make 2 4/4s with trample.
Yeah. You have to wait 4 turns.
You're supposed to wait for it.
Yeah, you're supposed
Well,
to.
then it's
As
3 mana,
foretold,
so it's more fair. You gotta skip the turns.
As Foretold just gives it to you.
Did you see anyone running As Foretold today?
I never said it was a good card.
You know what else gives it to you? Electro Dominance.
That's a good card, right?
No.
I have no idea.
I'm still kind of surprised we haven't seen many people testing out the
Halo.
fairy.
It's not in the colors. It's the hard part.
I mean, you lose red to add black. I don't think Sultai offers you like a bad selection of things that you can play around with.
You lose Fury.
I was gonna say my assumption would be Fury because Fury seems to be the 9 times out of 10 it is the only reason these decks wins is because oh wow I'm
And
about
Fire
to
Ice,
die.
I
You lose
suppose.
Fury, Fire Ice, Dead Gone. Like there's this list of cards you lose, which
However,
aren't worth losing.
Black could just be better, and people are just so used to Fury being good that they forgot the use of Fatal Push that does the same thing.
Well,
It definitely doesn't do the same thing.
You're right. Okay, it definitely doesn't, but it's close.
No.
Yeah.
Kill
Kill creature.
To a degree, it just kills a creature, and that's a fine comparison. But in the grand scheme of things, your Fatal Push is never attacking for 6.
I can confidently say I've never had a Fatal Push deal 6 damage to one of my opponents. That's true. Yeah, because I guess late game. Yeah, it's also it's a Fatal Push and a 6/6.
3/3 with double strike.
It's 6/6.
Well, in this deck with Violent Outburst, it's an 8/8. Well, 8.
8/3.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's close enough. I mean, listen, if you're dealing 8 damage, you might as well have 8 toughness.
So I think we're gonna see Kyle hopefully dead gone this monkey.
Hopefully, I'm rooting for this monkey. Let's go. Go all the way, monkey.
I gotta root for the representative of the store because Dobinson's a local, he's a homie,
He's definitely a homie. Still rooting for Eggman.
I bounce it. That's a pretty good answer for now.
if it resolves.
What are you umming and on about?
I thought I saw force negation in Barbossa's hand, but it was an expressive iteration.
I mean, does he even really want to counter it? Because he can just play it again.
Well, force and negation isn't going to do it here. It's Barbossa's turn, right? That was in his
Yeah. But if he had a counter spell,
Yeah.
or a spell snare,
Spell snare.
because on the adventure side, it only costs 2 mana.
Ledger Shredder.
The shreddy boy.
Down defenses. No cards to leave up for a nice, clean, shardless agent into a bunch of
This
bunch
is
of
where,
pennies.
where his force will shine.
Yeah, I really like the force.
Especially with Ledger Shredder, because if he cascades, it automatically triggers off. He's got a choice of drawing,
And now he
going.
passes.
I think if Kyle has Violent Outburst Shardless, he's able to go end step, do this thing you have to tap out and deal with it now.
Yeah,
And
I
then do
like
it on
that
my,
because it puts the pressure on him, and now he can no longer use his force of negation. It has to be on his opponent's turn. But I do like that.
Oh, I quite like this. Barbossa's going aggressive, putting down another Ledger Shredder, which means getting a counter on both of these now. If he gets another set of connives from a cascade down the road, those will become 3/5s. That makes a very generous trade.
A very generous trade, and dodges Fury.
Well, it doesn't quite trade. It kind of is just deals X amount of damage. It doesn't
It
trade.
doesn't kill the Rhinos, but it stonewalls them. They can't
Yeah.
progress any further, which gives them a lot of time to start finding those engineered explosives.
Yeah, it trades for
holy
time.
heats. Gives him more time, take less damage, and those are only going to get bigger.
Yeah, once they turn to 4/6s, 4/6, 5/7s,
That's when it's a problem.
yeah.
Then we need to start seeing more of these petty thefts coming out of the Rhinos player.
So we're about to see the end step into Violent Outburst. Yeah.
Go.
Watch it. Third from the top. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, bang. Oh, just really feeling it.
That was a
It was so
one.
close.
Close.
He's been close every time. Or I shouldn't say him in particular, but most Rhino players we watch get whoop.
Well, he's the only Rhinos players we've seen on stream, and every single time it's been close to him revealing.
Was it? No, he's the third, second.
This is the third time he's been on stream today.
Third time. Okay.
2 of them have been top 8 matches. Top 4 matches, sorry.
It's the untap with a bunch of 4/4s.
Like we saw one of the knives put a counter on.
2 of them actually put counter spells.
Yeah.
Oh, it did. There were
Yeah.
2 there. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I only
so
saw
he-
the one dot on the top die.
So he's definitely valuing his life total and the pressure that these flyers can bring over counter spells now.
That's a big attack.
That is a huge
Mhm.
attack.
For Barbosa not to block it all makes me think Barbosa's got an EE here.
Maybe. Again, he might just be relying on the size of these Ledger Shredders, that if he casts an EE here even just if he can, at this point, but yeah, they just start stonewalling. He's got his Murktide for value, or his Ragavan for value.
I don't mind Kyle just slamming an endurance to block to show Barbosa. He's like, he looks at Oh, never mind. Kyle fetched awkwardly.
Oh, that he did.
Oh, and there's the thing that would have fixed his awkward fetch.
Yeah, if you notice, Kyle doesn't have a second green source, but has 2 endurances in hand.
So he's got an endurance.
Got 2 uncastable endurances.
No, they can be evoked. It's just not ideal.
I like a dispute here.
You're just gonna resolve the consider probably, just to again
Another EI probably.
Oh, that's heavy. That's
Again, we're
heavy.
seeing these
Yeah.
big creatures that need to be dealt with, and this is gonna trigger connives.
But if we saw Kyle fetch a little bit less awkwardly, Kyle would have enduranced and blocked the Ragavan, making it so Murktide was uncastable.
But that's not the world we live in. The world we
No,
live in.
I know. I'm just saying
That's a 6/6.
Yeah, he also doesn't have a second blue card in hand because he
A-
mystical disputed.
4/5.
And now we're seeing we have that very large Ledger Shredder
Yeah,
as
or a
well.
4/6. Wow.
Kyle did draw a
Yeah.
green source.
Yeah, he's done on this on the
Rookie
crackback.
mistake.
But
So he can't attack.
that's a
here.
lot of flyers.
Yeah. Well, I guess he has to attack here, right? Well, no, I guess he gets 1 blocker next turn.
He's in this weird spot because that Murktide's a 6/6, which isn't too big, isn't too small. Yeah, the Rhinos are getting poached. He's got to take at least 7 in the air this turn, if not just die in the air this turn.
Yeah.
So
So I think he's trying to find out if it's better for him to attack with everything.
yeah.
Because this doesn't actually force a chump. It probably will, though.
And here we're seeing the safe play again of I'm just gonna poke in with 1, keep
Yeah.
up some pretty good blocks.
Not just die for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's got endurance, subtlety in hand.
Solitude? Subtlety.
Subtlety. Yes, as soon as I said it, I'm like, I said it sounded like a lot like solitude, but it's subtlety. So he's able to technically put 3 chump blockers in the way, but whether he wants to, that's the real question.
Oh, he's also got a fetch too. I'm assuming he has another basic force, or does he not have another basic?
Gonna hurt if he has to shock here.
Yeah, it is.
This puts him to 5. Sorry about the hearing my asks.
Yeah.
We're gonna see come and tap. So this will block if he swings only Murktide next turn. Give him a chump for an extra rotation.
Not being able to do it on this turn does kind of suck. Like not being
Well,
able to end step it.
He can drop subtleties here if you want.
Yeah.
Right?
Subtleties have.
Oh,
flight.
there's a Brazen Borrower.
Well, it
Yeah.
can't block.
Brazen Borrower can block creatures with flying.
Okay.
Can't block creatures without flying.
It's like, nah, dude. I'm way too high up here. Get on
Ice
the-
is pretty good draw. Because he can...
Can he win?
Oh!
We don't know if it's that.
It's definitely not that good of a draw.
Oh,
But
can it not tap down a creature?
yeah. But it's a good enough of a draw where he could tap down the Murktide to prevent the Murktide from coming in for 6 and just killing him the next turn. Because if Barbosa swings out, which not super in the position to do, Barbosa will guaranteed get 3 damage through because Dobinson will flash in an endurance. So that puts Dobinson down to 2, and then it puts Dobinson in a very worrisome, oh well, that's pretty rough.
Oh well,
everything I was just thinking about is now out the window.
And a pass.
Yeah, Dobinson needs to have this ice resolve, or else he loses.
Oh, there's a counter spell.
And that's game.
Well, he can plan a reach, block 1. Oh yeah, no,
it's exactly it's
also,
minimum 7 damage.
There we go. Cards on the table.